What's up, everybody? Early Stoppage MMA here. Today we're going to be doing a UFC 324 card builder. This is the Paramount Plus debut for the UFC, so presumably it's going to be a pretty big card. We're just going to be doing the main card for this video because we can't be bothered with the prelims, but I think we cooked here. What do you think?
No, I think this is a good one. I think that if this does happen, this has potential to be one of the best cards of next year.
No doubt, no doubt. I'll start us off with the first fight of the night. I imagine it's going to be a sort of rising prospect builder fight that gets people entertained and like unranked kind of territory, but near the rankings. And I think that fight would be, or the fight that would be a banger, would be Garbrandt versus Talbot. This fight
Yeah.
would be electric, bro.
I think we've talked about this fight for the past year now with Peyton Talbot. I don't know if
Definitely.
it's just been us or everybody. But no, this fight is a fight that needs to happen, especially with Talbot having a loss now that you can kind of justify not giving him a top 15 guy.
Yep.
Before, I think people were trying to push him way too hard.
Yep.
But no, I think that this fight is one of the best that you can make at bantamweight right now, and it's not even in the rankings.
Yeah. Full disclosure, Garbrandt probably loses this to the chagrin of all of us, but because Talbot's probably going to sleep him. We've seen Garbrandt doesn't really have the chin now, and he's just not the same guy that beat Dominic Cruz in one of the most impressive title fights ever, or performances, and it's just a good prospect builder, honestly. Like, I could see this being such a fun back and forth match of striking. I would love it, dude. It'd be so good.
Yeah, no, I think that they gave Garbrandt his last fight was kind of like a, let's get Garbrandt back on track, and he ended up losing that one.
Yep, agreed.
So now I think it's time to use Garbrandt as kind of fodder to boost up some of these other guys at 35. And bro, I mean, this will be a sick fight for the first 3.5 minutes until Garbrandt probably gasses out and can't move anymore. But while Garbrandt's moving around, it's going to be a lot of fun watching Talbot trying to figure that out.
Agreed.
It doesn't matter where they put this card or this fight for me. I'll be watching.
Hell yeah. Moving on to the next fight of the night. You want to take away this one?
Yeah. So Morales versus MVP. If you were listening to the MVP Joe Rogan podcast that came out recently, at the time of recording, he claims that he wants to be done with 185, which I am personally on the team of. I know you have opposing, opinions about that.
Yes.
But I think this is the perfect fight to jump him over. And at the worst case for MVP, if he gets slept by Morales, you're just building Morales. And if MVP gets through Morales, I think that, that's just boosting him up and get him closer to the title.
Yeah, I agree. This would be a fun fight. Morales has looked very entertaining, very powerful with his striking. And it's, we're still looking for that guy who can knock MVP out because it has happened in the past. So could Morales be the guy to do it? I don't know, maybe. Morales is pretty big too. So I think he could match MVP's sort of physicality and build.
Certainly has the power to do it 100%. And MVP's really big for 70. He's a big dude for 85, I feel.
It's true, yeah.
But no, this is actually one of the fights that he called out on the podcast was I think that this is a winnable fight, which I do agree that it's one of the more winnable fights in the top of the rankings at 70 or 85.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I think this is a fun one, and I think that there's an upside for both guys. It's worth making.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, is that it for this one, do you think?
That's all I got. Let's get into your boy next.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I think Strickland versus Hernandez would make an amazing featured fight. Sean Strickland still has kind of the star power, I feel like, that he did. It's diminished for sure, and especially his sort of absence the last year. He definitely has to fight down. He's has to give an opportunity up to somebody that is working their way up the division, and Hernandez just kind of seems like that guy, and this is timing wise, I think this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, Strickland will come back from a suspension right around this time, and this is a fight that I think both of them had talked about. I know I just saw a video of Strickland being like, I would love to fight with Hernandez and prove to you guys that I can grapple and take on Hamzat. So he's still looking for that title shot, which I'm personally in the opinion that I don't think that there's a dude in the rankings right now that can beat Hamzat.
No, I agree.
Hernandez is at the top of that list, but it's still a very one-sided fight in my opinion.
Yep, I
but no, I think this is a really good fight. You had a good point. We were talking about this was that Strickland, when he fought Abus, and Abus and Hernandez fight fairly similarly. but Abus did gas out,
Yeah.
and Hernandez will not gas out.
Yep. In the first round of that fight, the pressure that Abus put on Strickland, just keeping him up against the fence and trying to sort of chain wrestle and keep taking him down, it was there and it worked fairly well against Strickland. Strickland did show good takedown defense, but I think that if Abus never gassed out and had more finishing potential and damaged Strickland along the way, it would have been a much longer fight for him, and that's exactly what Hernandez would do in this fight. So
yeah, no, I think, I've watched a lot of Strickland fights, and there's a clear line in all of his fights where if you let him control it and put on the pressure and pace you, that is a much more winnable fight for Strickland. I mean, like, just thinking about the Izzy fight,
yep.
that was just his whole game plan was, I'm
yeah.
going to put you on your back foot. But then if you think about any other fight that he's been kind of pushed around, like DDP or when he fought Pereira and ends up getting clipped, like he doesn't move much. He just moves forward and backward.
Exactly.
And this is a fun fight, but it's still Strickland, and like
100%.
It's possible that he flips something and he could beat Hernandez. I mean, I don't think that this is a totally one-sided fight. I think I would lean Hernandez in this, but
yep. It's certainly possible. Hernandez isn't some slouch on. We've seen he's got pretty good striking. He is pretty damn well rounded. So it would be cool to see kind of how this worked. And I think that especially Strickland's last fight with DDP has kind of shown how to get around that crazy defense he has. Because a lot of what DDP was doing in his fight wasn't even the wacky, nonsensical shit. It was the stuff that he was landing on Strickland was very possible for the average fighter to achieve.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. This is a step up for Hernandez, though. So this is a fun one.
I agree. This fight rules. I would love to see this. I hope that this is on this card, and I think it would be a good addition. People would love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we move on?
I don't think anyone's going to complain about this. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
This is our co-main.
Merab versus Jan. This is inevitable, right?
This is next for sure. And we were kind of debating when we were making this, is this going to happen in December like Merab's claiming he wants, or January? I think that it's kind of one or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that this is a perfect spot to put him, especially with what we have in the main event.
Yeah, we were kind of debating, but we figure with trying to make an impression, since it is, again, the Paramount debut, I think that Merab, being the star that he is, would garner a lot of eyes on this card and sort of build Merab a little bit into a star. Because Merab's fights, despite being a grappler, are fairly entertaining for a casual. You know what I mean? Who doesn't know what's going on. So,
well, that and just the buildup that with Merab's always in the media, has a really good social media presence.
That is so true. Yeah.
Like this is a good spot to put Merab, in my opinion. And for the fight itself, I mean, we've already seen this fight and we know how that went.
Yep.
And I am not too sure that it goes much differently, to be honest with you. I'm not convinced that there's a guy that can beat Merab right now, and you're gonna have to knock this guy out cold, which Jan could do. Well, I mean, it's certainly possible.
I genuinely do think that Jan is the most intriguing matchup and maybe has the best chance, despite being completely dominated, worse than many other opponents in his first fight.
Yeah.
Just because of like the 40-something takedowns that were shot in that fight, only like 3 landed for Jan. So the takedown defense is there. True. If he game plans a little better, knowing what's coming at him, who fucking knows? Yeah.
Well, and then just the boxing with Jan too. He's a slick striker.
Yep.
But I would say that he probably has more power than a Corey Sandhagen. I don't know if I'd give him more power than O'Malley.
No, definitely not.
I mean, there's definitely, this is intriguing, and we have seen kind of a level up in Jan since the last Merab fight. We've seen some really fun fights where he's looked really, really good.
Agreed.
But it's still tough to pick against Merab.
Yeah, no, Merab is just a dominant force, so I want to see this fight. I hope this is next. I think it makes a lot of sense, but
I don't think there's another fight at 35 that would make any sense more than this one.
No, and I think that Jan or Umar really are the best candidates to beat Merab. So let's get them both out of the way at some point.
Yep, I agree.
All right, moving on to the main event. Would you like to introduce
the main event? Yes, Topuria versus Gaethje. So we got Topuria coming off of the crazy knockout streak that he's on, going against a dude that will get knocked out in Justin Gaethje. I will say that the only thing that interests me about this fight is what does Gaethje look like? Is he still going to be nearly as aggressive as we see him against other guys, or is he going to be kind of timid? That is genuinely the only intrigue I have in this fight because at some point Gaethje will be asleep.
Yep.
So
I every
that's all I
time we're
got for
like,
this.
Topuria ain't knocking out this guy. They're
Yeah,
dead.
yeah,
The only person who's lived is Josh Emmett. So like, and we've
dude.
seen Gaethje get hurt by people and do the jelly legs by people with way less power that are way less accurate. So I really think that this is just one of those fights that getting slept is inevitable. And to be honest with you, even if Topuria did take a giant shot from Gaethje and get rocked or something like that,
Yep.
Topuria has shown that he is a very capable of grappling and pretty well. I think he would be able to just take down Justin Gaethje and submit him. I could totally see that happening if it came to it.
Oh, for sure. No, I will say that as you were talking there, I was thinking this does seem kind of like the fight that's going to ruin the KO streak.
Yeah.
Like it is certainly possible that Gaethje just somehow eats everything,
Mm-hmm.
but I still wouldn't pick against that. If I'm betting on this, I'm taking Topuria KO
No.
in the first 3 rounds for sure.
Well, and that's just it. Like the matchup wise and stylistically wise, like what does Gaethje even bring to this fight that would make him have an advantage other than his power? Because to be honest with you,
Yeah.
I mean, knowing like Oliveira is in there, he's got fairly tight punches. He's pretty controlled and has a pretty good guard when he's
Yeah.
throwing his stuff. And he throws hard with pretty good power as well. Oliveira is tight and can throw elbows in the clinch. If Justin Gaethje is in the clinch, he's usually not throwing elbows at people, and most of his punches are kind of like he's got a good 1-2, sure, that are somewhat tight, but a lot of his best punches that really put him ahead in fights are big looping punches that I think Topuria will just be able to go right towards the chin if he throws those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's kind of the thing here is that Gaethje, I would say, probably hits the hardest out of any of the guys that Topuria's fought in the last couple fights at the high level.
Yeah.
And the issue though with that is that Gaethje, you're right, is very open when he's throwing punches to get that power. And that's kind of what sets apart Topuria is that he generates that power very compact, very explosive.
Yep.
So I could totally see Gaethje trying to wing something crazy and Topuria just catching him with like a straight and an uppercut.
Yep.
Or like a 1-4 or something off of Gaethje's 3.
Yeah.
Because it's so quick with Topuria. You got to be so ready in there, and that's kind of what I was saying when we first introduced this fight. Was I'm curious what Gaethje's game plan looks like because he also has not really faced anybody that's like Topuria.
No.
So I'm curious if he's still as aggressive and as just walk forward and try to eat the shots because I feel like we've seen some guys try to do that with Topuria and it never works out.
No. This just is such a fight for Topuria to win. It's in a way it's a legacy fight, but I don't think anyone really genuinely expects Gaethje to win this. But
no,
it would make a great main event. So I would love to watch this.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, this is an entertaining fight. I think that is the case with any Gaethje fight.
Yeah.
We've all agreed on is
definitely.
and even if it's not deserved, which I do not think that Gaethje deserves this title shot.
No shot in hell.
With how lightweight looks right now, everyone else is booked except for Max Holloway, and I don't think that they're ready to do Max Holloway, Gaethje, or Max Holloway Topuria too.
Yeah.
Quite yet. So I think this is good, and I think that overall this card builder has a really good balance of just everything we need. We have some prospects, we have some really good fights to create contenders, we have the title fights, we even have the Georgian camaraderie between Topuria and Merab. I think that if this card came out, I don't think this is an unrealistic card either.
No, I think this is very realistic for their debut of them like really investing in a good card for the first free pay-per-view.
No, and I think that this like it gets the eyes and it pulls guys from all across the world. Like MVP is a huge social media star. Merab has a big social media following. Topuria is Topuria. You're gonna pull in fans that everyone knows who Justin Gaethje is. If you watch the UFC a little bit, Justin Gaethje.
Yep.
I think that this is the perfect way for them to get some eyes on those free, juice up those numbers on the Paramount.
Yeah. While also making stars. I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. No, I think this is very well put together by us, to be honest with you.
Yeah, round of applause for ourselves here.
Let's do it.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Do you think we cooked? Let us know in the comments below, or criticize us completely. We're fine with that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching.
If these fights do happen, who do you got?
Oh,
also,
fuck.
I wanna throw that in.
I would pick Topuria. I'd pick Marab. I'd pick Fluffy. I would pick probably Morales, and then I think I would pick or I'd definitely pick Talbot for sure. What about you?
Yeah. No, same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, I think that Morales would beat MVP, but that would be the only one that I'm like 50-50 on.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So, well, everybody, who would you pick in this hypothetical matchup? Leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace.